The claws are out for Natalie Elphicke, the person who crossed the House and crossed the floor and went from the Conservative benches to the Labour benches, and the second Conservative MP to do so in 2 weeks. I don't think it's the end of the story. And she was very coy about what was going to happen to her. Was she going to represent the seat of Dover and Deal in the next general election? It turns out that she isn't. She's being replaced by a proper candidate who is a former soldier, and called Tapp. And there's now stories about her being spited because she wasn't offered a ministerial job. And also the Times has a very interesting story today about the way that she approached the Lord Chancellor, the parliamentary office of Robert Buckland, the Lord Chancellor and Justice Secretary, on the eve of the beginning of the trial of her husband for sexual assault. And the particular concerns that she had is she didn't want the character statements made public. It's sort of madness, this idea that she can invade the course of proper justice. Now, we're told that Elphicke received lots of visits and support from former Conservative MPs who went to see him while he was in prison. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's an injunction directed by the Gospels: Matthew 25:36, Luke chapter 4, Hebrews 13:3, Proverbs 31:8, Isaiah. The idea that you should free the oppressed, the year of favor. But you cannot do this and continue to harangue those who arrive seeking shelter on small boats. If you're going to invoke the Bible to defend your visiting prisoners, you are aliens in a strange land. You shall not wrong or oppress the resident alien, the asylum seeker. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Jeremiah, do not oppress the traveler. It's all there in the Bible. So, yes, absolutely, Charlie Elphicke should have been visited by his peers, by his friends in the Conservative Party while he was in prison for whatever offence. We should be visiting prisons. It's the right thing to do, but equally the right thing to do, biblically enjoined on us, is to welcome the stranger, the asylum seeker, the refugee, because we were refugees ourselves. We were strangers in a strange land. So Natalie Elphicke just comes across as scheming, doesn't she? It's really difficult not to take that view. And the more stories drop out, the more the judgment of Keir Starmer seems to be questionable. But then on the other hand, the headlines that dominated the news about Natalie Elphicke's defection, she is an icon of precisely what Sir Keir Starmer must do, or must encourage, if he's to win the next election decisively. He must encourage people to cross from voting Conservative to voting Labour. And that means he needs to encourage the public to recognise that that is a possible route, a possible journey that they too can make, just as these extreme right-wing thugs can cross the floor and sit on the Labour benches and look smug, knowing, of course, that their career is over.